Good morning. Well, you join me back at the lake, and surprise, surprise, last night was a blank. However, I have had the first one of the year. I'd won the night before last. Only a small one of the stockies, but yeah, well happy. Off of a spot that I've caught fish from before, and yeah, it's a fish that we stocked in September. So far, so good on the growth rate. It's put on £3 in the last, I suppose if it was September, October, November, December, January, 4 months, £3. Call that a pretty good growth rate. It actually went in with another fish, which I caught 2 months after we put it in last year. So I caught the other fish in December last year, and that fish had put on £3.5 in 2 months. So again, amazing growth rate. You'll see obviously in the video, I took a couple of videos of the fish. It's looking really nice. It's filled out really nicely, and definitely one that in the future, if it does get to £30, which obviously is the goal, I think it'd be a really cool fish. But yeah, I got down here, it's been a week since I last fished, and I got down here on Monday afternoon, just before it was getting dark, to be honest with you. Excuse me. And one of the spots that I fish in this swim is sort of open water, and I like to get the marker out there and bait it up with boilies using the throwing stick, but unfortunately on Monday night I couldn't do that, because by the time I'd got down to the lake and trudged all my way down this end through all the mud, the light was fading. I put the marker rod out, just couldn't see the marker, so I ended up just putting a single on that rod, and on the other rod, which is a bit closer in, literally put a bag on and sprinkled a handful of boilies over the top. Again, not thinking anything was going to happen. Like you've seen from the previous videos, I think that I've been thinking that I'm a little bit early, maybe putting a bit of bait in and thinking I'm going to catch, because obviously first fish last year didn't come out until April, and that was like towards the back end of April as well. So to have one in February definitely really is good going, so well happy with it, and it is a step in the right direction. I always think the hardest part about fishing any lake is catching the first one. Catching the first one, like full stop, when you join a lake is definitely the hardest one. But the first one, if you've done a year already, you're sort of a bit ahead. But it's still difficult getting that first one of the year. You don't quite know what's going on. And on a lake like this, where they really don't show themselves that often, it's hard to pinpoint where you should be going. But I set up in here on Monday night, thinking don't really want to be up the north end of the lake. A lot of it's just very shallow and barren up there in terms of depth fluctuations. So I decided on this swim because it's got a mixture of deeper water and shallower water if you come in close. And obviously it paid off, so yeah, I'm well happy about that. For some reason I've got it in my mind that whenever I've fished here, even if I catch one on the first night or like the next morning sort of thing, I ought to move. And it kind of goes against everything you think about carp fishing. You think, like, if you're in a spot and you've had one stick to it, and yeah, they'll come back. And of course, like, I've got no doubts that they will come back and feed on these spots, but for some reason the next night along just never seems to produce for me. So yeah, when I settled in last night after doing a few bits around the lake with John, I really didn't think I was going to catch anything. Last night I managed to get a few baits out there, albeit after dark, but I've sort of got an idea of where I'm fishing on the long rod, so I sticked a few baits out there, and I did actually put a little PVA stick on that rod as well, so I was more confident in catching one on that spot, but unfortunately nothing's happened. In fact, currently I've got a tufty diving on me, and I think that's because the baits that I'm using, whilst they're quite brown when you first start off with them, when they wash out they're really quite light in colour. So I'll lamp him up, get him off the spot. Mind you, I'll be leaving soon, so it's not like he's really got to worry about too much. In an hour or so I'll be gone, and they can get back to eating all my boilies. But that's only seems to be an issue here in the winter. The birds definitely don't seem to come over the summer period. I don't know whether it's because of, I don't know, food availability or things like that, but yeah, just glad to have had that fish. So we're off the mark. If that's a sign for things to come, then in theory this should be a good year. But yeah, definitely going to keep the bait going in. I've got a few more boilies with me that I'll probably stick out on both spots before I leave. And yeah, I'm not sure when I'm going to be back. I think I'm probably going to have a little bit of a little bit of a break from the lake, because I don't think I can get down this weekend. Next weekend I can't get down, so probably it's going to be 2 or 3 weeks before I'm next down here, and then in the middle of March, because obviously 2 or 3 weeks will be the end of February, and then middle of March, got some time off coming. We've got a load of stuff planned around the lake, so obviously I'm going to film that as well, because it's not all about fishing, it's about what we're doing with the lake and bits and bobs. So yeah, tune in on the next video and you'll see bits of us doing some bits around the lake and doing a bit of fishing, and hopefully, be in the middle of March, a few fish as well.